If you were to ask 50 Warrior Cat fans the most iconic part of the community, you'd get a wide variety of answers. Some might say the fire scene, others Maple Shade, but a much more common answer would be SSS Warrior Cats. SSS Warrior Cats started in 2008 and was directed by Yuji and later Wanton Fox. Most of the animation was done in an early version of Flash or Animate, though it still holds up today. From the intro music to the fight scenes, SSS Warrior Cats was one of the first high-quality animation projects in the Warrior Cats fandom, and also on YouTube too. If you search Warrior Cat videos by views, it comes up at the top with the first episode having 3.9 million views, and the most highly ranking Warrior Cats video of all time being a AMV featuring content from SSS Warrior Cats. A lot of people got into the fandom just for the series, and I can't say that I'm immune to that. Even though it is gone and the project has been over for a while now, interest in this project still persists in the fandom. For people who still are curious about SSS Warrior Cats years later, I invite you to watch a short video doc on its production, impacts in fandom, and eventual decline. Before we get started, if you are new to this channel, I recommend subscribing. I upload new animation and commentary videos every week and currently have a subscriber goal of 500 before my birthday in October. If that changes, well, thank you a lot for getting me to 500, but I could still use the help because every subscriber just encourages me to make some more awesome videos. I'd also like to thank Zing for their 10-year anniversary revisit of SSS Warrior Cats, where they open up the original files and discuss the creative process. Without those insightful videos, I wouldn't have half the information I do now. If you want to watch this video and still want to see more SSS Warrior Cat stuff, I recommend going over to their channel, and their stuff will be linked in this description, because honestly couldn't have done it without Zing's videos. Let's talk a tiny bit about the background. If you are unfamiliar, SSS Warrior Cats is based off of the hit series by the Aaron Hunters group. It has sold 30 million copies and has over 100 books with translations into 30 different languages. This book series is about wildcats living in the forest and these little cults. A house cat named Rusty decides to go and joins them, and he ends up becoming pretty important. That's the most basic summary I can give you, but if you want to see another summary of it, I recommend Moon Kitty's videos. They're pretty short and brief and they get the point across. As I said, over 100 books, so if I wanted to explain the full context of SSS Warrior Cats, we'd be here all day. Fortunately, one of the million copies sold made it into the hands of Yuji, an aspiring young artist. He started to draw the cats from the series, but soon decided to do even more relating to the books. He had grown up watching anime, and so he decided to combine two of his interests together to make SSS Warrior Cats, merging the Shakespearean tragedy of warrior cats with the flair of shonen anime. SSS actually is a meaning. It means S Soul Studios. Yuji chose the letter S because when he was learning English, it looked fluid due to its curves, and hence it looks animated in a way. Seeing as this was an animation studio, he decided to use the most fluid letter, and so S only fit. Yuji, however, was not the only member of the crew. He invited two other animators, Zing and Rose. Having that small of a crew helped keep his style consistent. However, Zing claims that the style was consistent because Yuji did 90% of the animation. All three of them were in college, so they couldn't spend their entire time working on it, and they had their own duties to attend to. However, they tried their best to release episodes regularly. All the crew used Adobe Animates, and all the work was done in Animates, including subtitles, backgrounds, and other compositing, such as audio files, making every file a patchwork of layers. Yuji's animation was patchwork in particular, as he disliked storyboarding and instead would draw fight scenes freehand, meaning no sketch to work on whatsoever. I could never do that. They had a crew, but now they needed a cast. Most of the roles went on to online friends. However, Whitestorm's actor was a college friend of Zing's. Zing and Whitestorm recorded lines together in an empty classroom. Since they couldn't rent a real microphone, they used a Guitar Hero one. Most of the other members of the cast didn't have proper mics too. However, all of them did a fantastic job due to the spirit they put behind their voice. Slowly but surely, this new studio started work on their first episode. I wonder what the studio back then would think if they knew how loved SSS Warrior Cats would become. Episode 1 through Episode 3 released gradually from 2009 to around 2012. Though they featured no canon divergence in Episode 1, which was released June 5th, 2009, the designs featured were radical even for their time. A lot of backlash came with these designs, calling them unrealistic. The first major plot diversions came in episode 2, released April 3rd, 2010 for part 1, where Lionheart and Whitestorm challenge Rusty to follow them through the forest. They then stage a murder, with Whitestorm pretending to be the traitor who carried such an act, and started assaulting Rusty, who is defeated but learns of it being a test all along to gauge whether he could be a warrior or not. A fun fact about the chase sequence is Ping chose the music specifically, and thought of it as Whitestorm's theme. If Whitestorm ever appeared again, then she said that she would bring the theme back. Surprisingly, that giant change was not what sparked the controversy around it not following the books, but a relatively minor divergence in episode 2, part 3F, which was Longtail pushing away Spotleaf during the fight with Rusty. People said that Longtail was being too cruel and out of character. Let me throw my hat into ring. That's the point! Longtail's cruel to challenge a kitty pet who likely wouldn't stand a chance. He's supposed to be a tiny bit of an asshole, even in canon, but especially in this adaptation. This is just the way he is. Really, I saw no major complaints about anything else in the episodes. If anything, there was a lot of praise, and these people were just a vocal minority. SSS WordCats at this stage was becoming a respected series in the fandom. Many people changed their art styles to resemble the SSS style because they were so inspired. You see, at the time, no online amateur project as large as this has ever been attempted. Even maps were uncommon back then, and most animations were literally just slideshows. So to have a flash animation was like going from a caveman with a fire to soldiers with nukes. It was a major technological advancement in the fandom. The creation of the series led many fans to try their own spins on Warrior Cats, such as Triple of Doom's Forest of Secrets or Nifty Senpai's original The Fourth Apprentice. Alluria's series, Blue Star's Prophecy, was released with a similar style to SSS Warrior Cats, though this was after she helped SSS Warrior Cats under the second team. The reaches of SSS Warrior Cats spread up the hierarchy of the fandom to the Aarons themselves. In a chat room, Vicky revealed that she had watched SSS Warrior Cats and was very pleased by the amazing animation and how they transformed the book into film. In August of 2012, the care of SSS Warrior Cats was handed off to a new team led by Lori and Lonton. The only episodes coming out after the shift would be episode 3, part 1 and 2, though both of them had work from the previous team. Shortly after handing over the project, Yuji left, followed by Zing. Almost all the original crew was replaced, leading to changes in the animation style and overall themes of the show. A large amount of the cast also had to be replaced due to most of them being friends in real life of Zing and Yuji, and the new team no longer having contact with them. The art style was changed from the original scratchy, hand-drawn 90s style to something more modern looking.
Hey Fireball, wake up! Come on, training begins at sunrise and the others are already awake.
What? Already?
Even though it was much more high quality, the series lost some of its initial charm and looked more corporate and less of a passion project. Due to the advances in computer animation technology, the series was edited. Instead of all scenes being composited in Adobe Animate, it was edited in an actual software, leading to a cleaner feel there too. Another major change was the plot and initial idea being changed. The new director felt like cats having powers was too unrealistic and decided that the shonen abilities would be discontinued. The new directors were also critical about the plot, specifically Longtail pushing Spotleaf as they describe in this clip.
We didn't have much of a choice back then because currently Wonton and I are in charge, being the director and co-director. Back then, we were simply colorers and in-betweeners, so we didn't have to do anything with it. We did finish a scene. We didn't want to throw away the part. Personally, I don't agree with Longtail attacking Spotted Leaf. I would never actually animate that. Yeah, it seems out of place, I agree. But, actually, I don't think this stuff will happen again. I think we're gonna follow the book more than we used to.
I already said my opinion about this earlier, but Longtail was definitely in character while doing that. They also added more fillers to the channel, such as interviews with the voice actors, which provided me with a lot of interesting content and new insight into how fans viewed the series. For example, a large number of people considered Ravenpaw's voice to be sexy, But don't worry, fellow Longtail lovers, as at least 5 times in the same Q&A session, Longtail was mentioned as being hot too, and every single time that happened, they played the video Longtail gets all the girls. Despite all the filler, only like 2 episodes were made under the new team, Episode 3 Part 1 and 2. Episode 3 Part 1 was made under both the new and old team, however, I consider the old team because Yuji did almost all the animation, as evidenced by Pink still having the majority of Part 1 on her computer. Episode 4 was evidently in production, with teasers being released to the public and animation progress being featured in their SSS Hangout video. However, no full scene trailers came out, and no polished finished animation was ever released besides this small little clip. Based on existing boards, this episode would have been about Greypaw, Firepaw, and Ravenpaw exploring the forest led by Lionheart and Tigerclaw. I'll be showing that on screen right now in a minute. I'm sorry for the low quality, however, the live stream was from 2014, and as such doesn't have the best quality. In addition, I used a bot service to voice act some of the lines for fun. I even enjoyed this little interlude. I'm deeply sorry for Lion Blaze's voice. I spent over 30 minutes trying to find a good one, but I gave up and used the King Julian one instead of something more fitting. And also, by the time of that stream, Alori had left the crew. She was one of the primary animators, and this was a major blow for the team, though Wonton thought that he could fill the space with Firepaw's voice actor, who could also animate.
We portrays the gathering place of the clans and center of the forest. When clan governs the high ground ahead of us where the sun sets. Shadow Clan holds power over there in the darkest part of the forest.
The elders say that the cold winds from the north blow or the shadow hung hats and chill air hurts.
Well, the wood is so much larger than I thought.
The four clans have come together peacefully. The gathering throne here's where they meet. The trolls last for as long as the moon is at its fullest. These are important as they allow the clans to come together in peace for one night. However, you must understand our alliances bring more trouble than they will want.
It is our clan loyalty which makes us strong. If you weaken our loyalty, you weaken all our chances of survival.
I think I understand now.
Come then, let's keep moving.
What clan is that?
Shadow Clan. We are along their border right now, so stay alert. Fresher scents mean a Shadow Clan patrol is in the area.
Are we at the edge of the woods?
This is the Thunder Path. It is time we return to camp.
Gradually, production under the new team declined and updates stopped coming out. On January 31st, 2017, their last video ever came out, almost a year after the video before that. That video was published almost 4 years ago now, and yes, I feel old too. I feel like they just updated yesterday. True to the age of the Warrior Cats community during that time, their final video was an advertisement for Warriors Amino. Around 2017, all other official accounts go inactive. Tumblr last posted April 30th, 2017 about Whitestorm's VA needing help with their cat's medical bills. The last post on the Facebook page was years prior in 2015 about the charity livestream for UNICEF they were doing around the time. Since 2017, no information has come out about the new development, so it's safe to assume the project died out in that year. Many have come to ask what caused such a promising project to stop, but I think it's relatively easy to answer, and it all lies in the last video posted to the SSS channel. All the animators working on the series were college students working on their short films, and as such were very busy. Even after they finish their films, that usually means that they've graduated college and soon the former students will be busying themselves with careers. Another small reason might be the lack of interest. SSS Warrior Cats was originally the passion project of Yuji, and even though the new directors could clean up some of the stuff in the series in order to make it more realistic, they couldn't shape it directly to their vision without contradicting canon already in the series and disrespecting their founder. Simply, they didn't connect to the project, and even so when they had the time, they didn't feel like continuing it. Though some may think it is a shame that all this potential has gone to waste, as they put it, I say we shouldn't mourn what might have been and appreciate what we have. SSS Warrior Cats gave all Warrior Cats fans of all generations something to bond over. It gave us tons of wonderful designs that have never been topped since then, and amazing fight scenes. It also laid the foundation for other animated series in the future, as nothing as large as this had ever been attempted before. It even laid a foundation for maps, even though those are smaller. It inspired tons of young animators to try and be as good as Zing, Yugi, Alori, and Wonton and everyone else who's ever worked on the project. All in all, I thank the team for creating my childhood. Without the series, I don't know where I'd be today. SSS Warrior Cats was my first contact with the Warriors fandom and Warriors in general, and without the series, I never would have asked my neighbor to borrow his copy of Into the Wild. I wouldn't be posting the animations I do today, and I sure as hell wouldn't be running this channel. In summary, SSS Warrior Cats was an animated series based around the Warrior Cats series by Aaron Hunter. Even though it was relatively low quality and made by busy college students, it managed to inspire young animators for over a decade now. If you like this video, then consider subscribing. I like to do content like this, and subscribing would help encourage me to do more. If you have any ideas for future videos, comment down below, and I'm always open to new perspectives. That's all, peace, Rogan out.